Hey guys, this is a multi-character listener. I hope you enjoy. I asked you guys if you wanted a video today or tomorrow. Most of you said today. And also thank you to the people that said like tomorrow, and like the people that commented like I should take very care of myself and I should take a break. Thank you so much, and yeah, I'm taking care of myself, don't worry, and thank you, and yeah, enjoy the video. You and Kirishima were chasing a villain through the streets of a very busy city. You and Kirishima had gotten separated from Tamaki and Fatgum while chasing this small group of villains. The other three had gone on Fatgum's and Tamaki's direction, and this one was being chased by you and Kirishima. You guys were getting close to him, but in a sudden moment, you were in front of the villain and Kirishima was behind him. The villain extended his hand and shot you with some type of gas. You were confused and soon started feeling sleepy. You felt your body feeling lighter and soon you were on the ground. Kirishima couldn't go after the villain with you unconscious, but soon after he went close to your form, he saw your clothes on the floor and saw a small child about the age of 4 in it. He was surprised and exclaimed, "Yuan, is that you?" He was starting to panic and he didn't know what to do. Oh shit, I'm screwed. How am I gonna tell this to Fatgum? Oh my god, and Yuan, oh, I don't know what to do. Soon, you stand up and grab onto Kirishima's leg and said, "Mister, where am I?" Kirishima felt his heart beating faster. "You look so cute." He grabbed you and your clothes that now were too big for you and started heading to the agency. When you guys entered, you saw a angry Fatgum and a worried Tamaki. Fatgum was a little angry that you guys got separated, but when he saw Kirishima carrying the child version of you, his anger turned into laughter. He was laughing at the situation and thought that you were so cute to be mad at. Then he grabbed you into his arms and said, "Kirishima, you have to take care of Yuan, since I have to still patrol, and now that Yuan is like this, she can't come, so I need to take Tamaki. Now you take care of Yuan, got it?" Kirishima nodded and Fatgum gave you to Kirishima. You guys headed to the dorms, and he had to explain the whole situation to Aizawa. Aizawa let him take care of you, and then he headed to Momo's dorm to ask her to do clothes for you. He knocked on the door. Momo opened and asked, "Oh my god, is that you, Anne? She looks so cute." She pulled you in for a hug, and you gladly hugged back. Then Kirishima said, "Hey Momo, if it's not much of a bother, can you do some clothes for you, Anne, please?" She nodded and made you a cute little hoodie that she changed you into it. Then she gave you back to Kirishima. You and Kirishima headed to his dorm, and when you guys get there, he laid you on the bed and gave you some stuffed animals that he got from Mina. After that, he brought you some toys that he asked the other students to give him. You guys were playing and you were having a lot of fun. He thought you were really cute as a kid and also that you were well behaved. Sometime later, you said, "Mr. Kirishima, I'm hungry." He gave you a confused look and said, "Well, Yuan, what do you want?" You said you wanted a sandwich, and Kirishima went to do it. When he came back, you happily ate, and after that, you started to feel tired. You fell asleep, and Kirishima saw you. He changed you into one of his t-shirts that was too big for you. He knew that in the morning you will be back to your normal self, and that hoodie will still be too small for you. In the morning, you woke up in Kirishima's arms, and he was still sleeping. You see his face and you were blushing. You said, "Kirishima, what am I doing here?" Kirishima woke up from your screaming, and he said, "Calm down, Yuan. You got hit by a car yesterday while we were chasing the villain, and you turned into a kid." You sat down on the bed and said, "I'm so sorry if I caused any trouble." He got close to you and kissed your forehead and said, You didn't cause any trouble. You're actually pretty cute as a kid. You blushed, and then he gave you a hug. Denki did not know what to do. He had introduced you to one of his friends from his middle school days, and he didn't knew his friend's quirk would activate accidentally, turning you into a kid. You guys were hanging out at Denki's place, and when his friend started laughing, his quirk activated and hit you. It turned you into a small child about the age of 4 or 5. His friend asked for forgiveness many times, which he was granted by Denki. His friend soon left, leaving you and Denki alone. You want to reach for Denki and he will carry you to his arms. You said, "Mister, what's your name?" He looked at you and said, "Well, Yuan, Denki, I'm one of your friends from when you were a teenager." He was confused, but he decided to head back to the dorms to talk with Mr. Isawa. When he entered, he screamed, "Mr. Isawa! Mr. Isawa!" He looked at Denki with a tired expression and said, "What do you want?" He showed you to Mr. Isawa, and his eyes were in shock. He said, "How did Yuan turn into a baby?" Denki explained the whole situation, and he soon said, "Well, Kaminari, you need to take care of her. I don't have the energy, and it was your mess, so you have to fix it." Denki sighed in relief and headed to his room. When he got there, he put you one of his hoodies that was too big for you, and gave you some crayons for you to start coloring. You did a drawing of you and Denki, you holding Denki's hand. Denki had an overdose of sweetness and almost died right there. After that, Mina came and said, "Hey Denki, what's up?" She stopped when he saw you and she asked, "Why is Yuan a baby?" Denki explained the whole situation again, and she sighed and said, "Well, give Yuan to me. I want to take care of her." Denki pulled you close to him and said, "No, I'm taking care of Yuan." Mina gave him a glare and said, "What do you know about kids?" He refused to give you to Mina, and Mina soon left in defeat. He put you to watch a kids show, and you soon fell asleep. He laid you on the bed, and he slept on the floor next to you. The next morning, you awoke, and you were confused. You opened your eyes slowly and saw Denki on the floor. You walked up to him and kicked his leg. He woke up immediately and said, "Ouch, Yuan, what was that for?" You glared at him and said, "What happened?" He explained that his friend had accidentally turned you into a kid by accident. You forgave him and gave him a hug, then left. He actually thought you were pretty cute as a kid, and you were more beautiful as a teenager. You and your boyfriend Bakugou were on a date. You guys were in a small cafe close to your school, having a lovely afternoon, when you heard some people screaming outside. You ran, and you saw a small group of villains terrorizing some citizens. You and Bakugou managed to restrain 3 of them, but the last one pulled his hand out and shoots like a laser at you. You soon fell to the ground in pain and became unconscious. Bakugou watched the whole scene and was terrified. He captured the villain and called the police. When he went to you, he saw a small child. It could be about 4 or 5 or 6 maybe, and it has similar similarities to you, so then it hit him. Yuan turned into a baby. He cursed internally since he doesn't know how to take care of a child, and he cannot take you back to the dorms like this because then Mr. Isawa will kill him. So he picked you up and carried you to his house. His parents were on a business trip and will not be back in about a week, so he carried you to his room and changed you into some of his childhood clothes. Then he proceeded to make your dinner, and he left you playing with his old toys. When he was done, he headed to give you the food, and you happily ate. You said, "Thank you, mister." He admitted he didn't like kids, but he thought his girlfriend looked very cute, and if their children in the future will look this cute, he's not opposed of you two having children when you get married. When you were finished, he went to wash the dishes and left you watching a kids show. You soon stood up and went to the kitchen and grabbed onto his leg. He said, "Yuan, let go of my leg." You said, "Nope, I'm not gonna." He admitted that you were stubborn as a teenager, but as a kid, you were way worse. He carried you to his room and placed you on the bed and said, "Now, sleep, because I will kill you if you don't." You humphed in response and said, "You are mean." He glared at you and said, "Shut up and just go to bed." He lay down next to you and soon fell asleep. In the morning, you woke up with Bakugou's arms wrapped around you. You were surprised and you didn't know how you got to his house. You said, "Bakugou, what's going on?" He woke up some minutes after and said, "Some stupid quirk turned you into a baby and I had to take care of your ass. I thought you were annoying as a teenager, but as a kid, you're stubborn and annoying." You laughed and just gave him a kiss. Class 1A has another villain attack, and Sero and his girlfriend had gotten separated. He was worried and soon found out that something happened to you. You were fighting along Mina and Uraraka when you stepped in front of Uraraka and a quirk hit you. The quirk that hit you turned you into a little kid, and he didn't know what to do. All the class asked him to take care of you since he was your boyfriend, and he wouldn't deny it. He actually wasn't mad about this, but he was more worried about you. Mr. Izawa told him that the effects of the quirk will only last 24 hours, so he only had to take care of you until then. He brought you up to his dorm and changed you into some clothes that Momo did for you. All class 1A thought you were so cute and they wanted to take care of you, but Mr. Izawa and the Raku squad insisted that Sero took care of you. You guys end up watching some kid shows and playing board games that Sero had in his room. He always let you win to see you happy. He thought you were so cute, and actually, he didn't expect you to be such a calm kid. Usually, you are a loud person, but as a kid, you were very quiet and calm. You soon fell asleep in Sero's shoulder, and he almost died. You were too cute for him. The Bakugou squad slowly entered and took some pictures of you. They were going to use this as blackmail to bother you. And soon, Sero laid you on the bed. He was happy that the day went well and no one died and you were still safe. He lied down next to you, and when the morning arrives, you were so confused. You said, "Sero, am I in your bed?" He explained the whole situation and you punched him and said, "You better delete those pictures." He laughed and said, "Nope, I love you too much, but no." You pushed him away and headed to your dorm. He loved you and he was sure that you loved him too.